All right, 30 secrets of people who never get sick, according to doctors and health experts. The healthiest among us, doctors and health experts, of course. How fitting, right? We're getting into another cold and flu season. I'll tell you what, though, I have not had a single cold in 5 years. And I wanted to do a little bit of analysis on this video and explain a little bit about what I think, my opinions, because it's a pretty good antidote, I think. So let's get started here. Right off the bat, number one, keep up with your V's, keep up with your jabs, your shots, your pricks, whatever you want to call it. If you say words like this nowadays in a video, if you're not pro the agenda, there can be some major censorship and some penalties for that. That should tell you a lot right there. So right off the bat, number 1 out of 30, keep up with this here. Okay? Well, I'll tell you what. I have not had one of these in, 17, 18 years. Never as an adult. Number 2, sleep it off. Get plenty of rest. Now, they'll tell you that getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night is, help you'll stay healthy, it's optimal. I'm not so sure about that. That's another thing that gets pushed, 8 hours of sleep. I think everybody's different. It's more about the quality of sleep than anything else, I believe. Remember, just my opinion. I know that if I sleep too much in regards to hours, I'm very groggy for the entire day. Some days I will get 4 or 5 hours of sleep and have way more energy than I do on a day I get 7 or 8. I notice that a lot of times it has to do with really what's on my mind and how ambitious I am for that day. That's really what gives me energy, is ambition. And number 3, so steer clear of sugary beverages. I don't typically drink any sugary drinks like energy drinks like Monster, Red Bull, sodas, Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Sprite. Used to do it all the time. But yeah, this one, they're going to tell you some things that, are common sense, of course, but some of them are quite interesting. Strengthen your mental resolve. So mental resolve which would be, being around people that complaining about being sick, right? So I'm going to tell you this. Another reason why I have not gotten sick, I believe, in 5 years is not, and I'm going to get to more of the details, but not because of the V, not just because of the V, but also because I do not believe that other people can get me sick. So that is where I have a strong mental resolve, is because I do not believe other people can get me sick. This is telling you, this is more about if people are complaining about being sick, don't let it get to you. But the reality is, you thinking about getting sick is going to likely make you sick. Try zinc. I don't do that. I don't do any of this. I don't prioritize these quote healthy fats or anything like that, nuts and avocados and any of that crap. Get a handle on stress. Yeah, but if you do number 1, okay, if you do number 1, which is get the jabs, then it's not going to matter all this other stuff that you do, because this is true. I think stress is in my experience has had an impact on whether I get sick or not, for sure. Used to get sick like everybody else, 1 to 3 times, 2 to 4 times a year, until the last several years it really cut down, and then the last 5 not at all. Lean into lean protein. So they always push this lean protein mess, which is like cutting out, fattier, parts of the animal, like it says bacon and sausage and whatever. They have saturated fat. So, it'll tell you to eat like, fish and beans and chicken and things like that. I don't do any of that. I eat really fatty foods, really fatty meat. I get a lot of fat in my diet, a lot of saturated fat, and I never get sick. All right, stay squeaky clean. Here's another one. They want you to wash your hands multiple times a day. It's actually quite quite crazy. This one I'm actually going to read because this is pretty funny. I want to tell you guys, I don't really wash my hands very much. I sometimes will use soap, but most of the time I don't. I'll just rinse my hands off. But I'm not crazy about washing my hands. I want to make sure I don't have anything, any types of toxins or poisons on my hands. I'm not worried about getting germs on my hands. So it says, according to CDC, hand washing prevents the spread of germs, including the CV19 there. I wash my hands all the time and open doors and touch elevator buttons with a clean tissue whenever possible, said Dan Collins, who works in media relations at Baltimore Hospital. Well, this Dan Collins is crazy. He's a germaphobe. 4 or 5 years ago, anybody who did that would be labeled a nut, a fanatic, just a crazy, a germaphobe. And then he says, if that's not enough, when I return to my desk, I immediately grab a supply of antibacterial hand wipes. And whenever my eye itches, I never use the tip of my finger to scratch unless I can sanitize my finger first. I mean, this is just insanity. I use my knuckle back of my hand in these areas. Well, I'll tell you, I just go in there and I just rub my eye and, scratch it or whatever. And, unless, if my hands are dirty, like if I have dirt on my hands, I want to wash my hands. But if my hands are relatively clean, like I said, I'm not worried about getting germs in my eye. I'm not worried about getting viruses in my eyeballs or anything like that. Dirt, other, contaminants. Yeah, it's not good to put in your eye. You're going to get, your eye's going to, gonna get all, kind of itchy and could cause some swelling and other things like that. So, and then this one here, this is the last one. This is hilarious. So Collins also holds his breath for a good 15 seconds if he walks by someone who sneezes, and he takes zinc at first sign of cold. This is paranoia right here. And this is not number 7. Get a handle on stress. So this Collins, Dan Collins, is extremely paranoid and stressed out all the time, and probably gets sick 2 to 3, 4 times a year doing this crap. So never do this. I don't make sure my hands are squeaky clean. I don't wash my hands for like 20, 30 seconds, what they tell you to do. It's all garbage. It's all BS. And a lot of that stuff you're putting in your hands is not good for your skin. It's not good for your body. It has toxins in it and can dry your hands out. It's just not good. It's not necessary. Eat the rainbow. Here's another one too. They want you to eat all the different colors. The yellows, the reds, the blues, the greens. Did I miss any? The purples, all of that. I don't do that. I eat, basically just red meat mostly. I don't have all these different colors. If I eat fruit, it makes my throat itchy. The inside of my mouth itchy, and also very often it causes mucus, a runny nose. It's not because, I don't think it's so much like I'm allergic to it. I think I am. I think most people are kind of allergic to fruit. They've just built an immunity. When I ate it very often, I just kind of got used to getting a runny nose. Now I don't get a runny nose anymore, so. Yeah, you can say everybody's a little bit different, but I think most people with fruits and vegetables do get some sort of reaction that they're just used to, and you just live with it. How do you know otherwise? What would you know unless you stop doing it? You're not going to know how you're going to feel. You just get used to it. So hit the gym. This is another one, and I love how they show a female here, which right in the front, which is telling you it's conditioning. It's like this isn't just for the males. Ladies, this is for the females as well. Go out there, hit the gym, build some muscle, lift weights, which is not very good for the body. Regular exercise. Once again, I don't do this either. I did used to work out, but I haven't for a while now. So, and I never did like cardio and stuff like that. So I don't do any of that. Seek community, social support, linked to short and long-term positive health outcomes. Yeah, as long as you're wearing your mask, as long as you're standing 6 feet apart, as long as you have your hand sanitizer with you and you're washing your hands every 5 minutes. Yeah, you can seek community with other brainwashed sheep out there that you can talk to and talk about things like politics and the weather and just dumb subjects. Fight viral infections with probiotics. I don't do any of that stuff. Telecommute. So this is working from home. So basically, don't go outside. Don't converse with other people. And what happened back with the CV, hoax. That was conditioning the population. There were many different agendas with it in my mind, and one of them was to condition the population to stay at home. Lock down, stay at home. Don't interact with people, in close proximity. Do it virtually. I think my vision is that ultimately they want humans to basically be in a small room, like you have your own like little room, and they inject you with a feeding tube, and that's just, and you're just playing like virtual reality all day, and then you're creating energy in some way for them. I don't know. All I know is that they seem to want to get people into cities. They want to get them out of nature. They want to get people away from talking with each other and shaking hands. I mean, just like having normal human interactions. And they want to, they'll tell you don't go outside. You'll get like an alert on your phone or something, some device that will say, oh, the UV percentage is really high today. Limit your outdoor exposure. They'll do, recently in Maine, there was a mass bang bang event in which they locked down parts of Maine for 2 days. People are just happy to do it. So this is just conditioning. Stay at home. Don't go out and interact with humans and speak with humans like normal. We want to track everything you say. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to be in on everything that you're discussing. So when you're in person, at least as far as I know, if you're out on the street just talking to somebody or at work at the water cooler, nobody's listening in. Nobody knows what you're saying. But if you're on the internet, everything can be tracked. So there you go. Isn't it wonderful? Number 15, stay hydrated. Yeah, I don't drink much water at all. I probably drink like a glass a day, an 8-ounce glass. Now, when they say 8 glasses per day, I believe they mean 8 glasses of 8-ounce glass of water. And I believe that this was because the soda companies back decades ago paid doctors to say to drink 8 glasses a day because they wanted to start selling water and selling it for like, nowadays it's like $2 a bottle if you're in the US, something like that, $1.79 to $2.50 a bottle. So they want people to pay. They want to make money and profit off people drinking water. So they push this drink water. I don't think you need water that much. I don't drink, like I said, I drink very little. I drink a lot of raw milk, and that's pretty much it. But I do not drink much water at all. Water actually dehydrates me if I drink too much. The longer I go without drinking it, the more hydrated I feel, the better I feel. The more water I drink, the drier my mouth gets. And then the more I want water, and I'm constantly wanting more and more and more. It just, in effect, dehydrates me. My late grandmother only drank 1 glass of water per day, maximum. Lived until she was 91. People thought she was crazy. But that's what people did back then. They didn't drink as much water until like the 60s and 70s. So this is just another BS secret that they're giving you to stay hydrated. Once again, that's not going to matter if you do step number 1 on this list. None of this shit is going to matter. Spend time in nature. Exactly. I believe that is good. I think being exposed to the air out in nature, it's better air, it's fresher. It's going to decrease stress and anxiety. As long as you're not, around any predators out in nature, if you're in a relatively safe place. And obviously sun exposure as well. They call it vitamin D. Yeah, that would be good. But once again, this does not matter, okay, if you're doing some of the other things they're telling you to do on this, like work out like a gym rat, go to the gym, do physical exercise every day, stress your body out, get the V's, on and on. And then this one is very, very funny. So it says, it's like it was speaking to me, this article. It says, don't fear carbohydrates. Because there's a big trend now with low carb diets and, a lot of pushing out there of low carb diets. So, they want to, that's really speaking to those people right here. So your body needs them for fuel so it can, you guessed it, protect you from illness. Yeah, I eat very little carbohydrates. Once again, I haven't been sick in 5 years. Used to get sick like everyone else all the time. Okay? But I haven't been sick in 5 years. I don't eat carbohydrates hardly at all. Hardly at all. I should be ill every day. I should be sick all the time, but I'm not. Unbelievable. So your body needs it for fuel. Yeah, it does need glucose, but that's created by your body. So gluconeogenesis takes the fat that you eat and turns it into sugar. So you don't actually need to add in any carbohydrates for survival or to be optimal that I know of. Certainly low carb has always been the best for me, that's for sure. So yeah, consumed in small, consistent amounts throughout the day. Now I eat like 2 meals a day and that's it. They say, many say, oh, eat 6 meals a day or whatever, 5 meals a day, 7 meals a day. And then some will say, they'll do the 1 meal a day. OMAD, 1 meal a day. I mean, it's just so extreme, everything. It's just all just to confuse you so you have no idea what to do. I would say listen to your body and what you're most comfortable with. Make your own decision. Here we go. They always say this too. Recommends going for those that are high in fiber. Well, fiber is simply the part of the plant that is undigestible. So that's why it gives you the illusion that you're, how do I say this? That you're that it's what you've eaten is passing through your digestive system and you're eliminating it through bowel movements. So like things are moving through. Well, that's because your body's not digesting it. It's not using it for nutrients. It's just a waste of food. It's not even food. It's not digestible. So you should not be eating this unless you want to be bloated and have an upset stomach. So it's just simply not digestible. It's just funny how people don't know that. Whole grains, fruit, beans, starchy vegetables like potatoes, corn, and peas. Yeah, I don't do any of this stuff. Haven't been sick in 5 years. How do you explain that? Know when to power down. Okay. Yeah, I would say that's decent advice. I mean, if you're starting to feel a cold coming on, at least in my experience, just relaxing a little bit and just not pushing myself too hard, not staying out late, not being excessive with what I'm doing, and just relaxing does help. Once again, doing number one, it doesn't matter. If you're going to do number one, that doesn't matter either. Get more vitamin D. I mean, they're going to tell you, the sun may not be enough, so you got to take all these pills. I don't take any pills either. Haven't been sick in 5 years. Don't take pills. Don't want to take pills. Not interested in taking pills. Not sure whether they work or not. They may come up on a blood test, but that doesn't mean it's actually being assimilated by the body in the way that was natural and is meant to be. So I don't trust it. I wasn't, humans weren't put here with vitamins, capsules, tablets. They were put here with food. So you should be getting you should be getting these nutrients, these vitamins from food. Oh, number 20, wear a muzzle. So wear a muzzle. So while mask guidance varies state to state, the CDC maintains that they are critical public health tool. Well, yeah. In your mind, it's recommended to wear one in public when there are lots of people around, especially indoors, in order to keep yourself and those around you safe. Now, that is because somebody might spit in your mouth. Somebody might sneeze without covering their mouth. A droplet could get in your eyeball. It could get in your ear. It could get in your mouth. It could get in your anus, believe it or not. You never know. So that's why you wear a mask, because adults don't know how to cover their mouth when they cough. That's the whole point. I am not a believer, first of all, in germ theory. I'm not convinced of germ theory. I think it's a complete lie to control you and to sell you shots. And this here, and to scare and control and to condition society. It's a magnificent tool of your evil. It's this invisible enemy. So the whole point that I thought that they told us of the mask was droplets, because obviously a viral particle is so tiny, it's going to go right through the mask. The mask is not going to do anything to deter that getting into your body. So it's to prevent spit, droplets, mucus. Like, that's disgusting. I mean, I've never had somebody cough in my mouth. Okay, so this is all just control. That's what this is all about. Control, muzzle up, no free speech. We don't care what you have to say. You don't have a face. You don't have an identity. You're all the same to us. Stand in a line. Get your stand in a line. Get your food covered in maggots that we feed you. Sit down, eat it, shut up, and go to work. That's what this is all about. Reduce your salt intake. I consume a lot of salt. There's a lot of debates about salt, and I'm not going to say that it's good or bad. I really don't know. Some say that it's really bad for your brain. Some say that it's really good for you, especially in low carb communities and carnivore communities. Remember, they're all controlled. So whether there's some truth there, I think there is truth to the low carb idea. And then there's going to be, within the low carb, you're going to have high salt people, low salt people. I mean, it's just, you're going to have organic meat versus non-organic. You're going to have so many different, it's just to confuse everybody, I think. It's just to confuse. So I'm not sure about this one, but I do actually consume a lot of salt. Nothing like ridiculous, but a good amount. And I don't get sick. So once again, nope, doesn't work. All right. Almost done here. Schedule your annual checkup. So it's really not saying much here other than, going to the doctor for a checkup once a year is good for your overall health and well-being. Well, I haven't gone for a checkup in like 10 years. Certainly hasn't affected me. Have not in the last 5. And once again, I have not had a single cold. So I think number 7, which was reduce stress, I don't think that helps too much here, because I know when I go to the doctors, I get very stressed out. I hate that place. Freaking hate it. And all they can do is give you drugs and surgery anyway, so they really can't do anything, and they can't tell you anything that goes outside of what they're licensed to tell you. So it's useless, in my opinion, unless you need to diagnose something maybe, and you really don't have a clue what's going on, and they can tell you what the problem is, what the symptoms are, and then you can kind of decide how to treat it from there. But all they can do for you is give you drugs, surgery, which is not health, right? So coffee, yeah, I do drink coffee. I know it's terrible, but in this crazy world, I gotta do something. Gotta have some vice. But I don't necessarily think it's good or bad or whatever. I don't think it's terrible for you. It's not gonna get you. Oh, it's saying drink coffee. All right, interesting. Yeah, I don't think coffee's good for you. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't think it's good for you. Yeah, stop smoking, vaping. Yeah, it's probably not very good for you. Don't neglect dental hygiene. So what that will mean is you got to go to the dentist every 6 months. I mean, I'm not saying don't do that, but they're all part of the same cabal. They're all part of the same system of mind control, fear, all the same garbage. If you eat the right foods, you're not going to have tooth decay. You're not going to have problems with that. And it starts inside too. It's inside. If your body inside is healthy, your teeth, your hygiene is going to be healthy too. It's all those carbohydrates and sugar and all that stuff that's going to just wreak havoc when it comes to your hygiene. So oral hygiene, or any hygiene for that matter. Here we go. Number 2, go for gains, and it shows a female again. Right? So they're really pushing the female, working out, bodybuilding. which I don't think is very healthy. So I know there might be some people out there that do lift, which is, hey, if it helps you and it makes you more confident and it's something to do and you're not sitting on your ass all day watching television, I think that's a better alternative. But I think it breaks down the body. It's stressful to the body. It ages you faster. And you're just tired all the time. I just don't. I think it's really. I think it's a trap, and I don't think it's natural. I don't think it's healthy. Believe it or not. So, find gratitude. Oh, I am so grateful for all the medical enhancements, all the medical technology, all the pills, all the jabs. I'm just so grateful. So grateful. Yeah, family health history, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this, number 29. Yeah. Whatever. Bring more spirits into bodies. Exactly. Trap spirits into bodies, into this torture chamber called Earth. And then drink green tea. Yeah, I don't do that either. I don't drink green tea. They say, some people claim it's just the greatest thing ever, the greatest thing since sliced bread. Helps to prevent influenza, common cold. But more research is warranted. Well, guess what? At the end of the day, this is what they want you doing. That was number one, folks. Number one. And if you're doing this, all this other good stuff don't matter. Does not matter whatsoever. So what's my recipe for success here? Well, guess what? Many years ago, I stopped taking any medicine. I stopped medicine completely, whether it's prescribed by a doctor, over the counter. And certainly, I already told you, I've done this in many, many years. When I was under the age of 18, I had to, and I didn't have any knowledge about it. I didn't like it, obviously. Kind of like, a child never likes getting these things because it's just instincts, right? So, no medicine. No medicine in 5 years. 7 years. Actually, it's been like 7 or 8 years. So once I got all that out of my system, all that junk, all that garbage, and allowed my body to work and flush out these toxins naturally, I never get sick. Oh my gosh. I don't take the medicine. I don't take the drugs. So I don't get sick. Shocker. And you're going to find that with many people that you meet. Most of them are going to be online because most of the population is taking lots of pills, getting lots of the V's. So you're going to have to search for it on the internet, on YouTube, why I never get sick. And then you got to flush through all the garbage that says I never get sick because I get my annual flu shot. You got to find people who live a natural way. Now, a lot of them are going to be, plant, eaters. They're going to eat a lot of vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. And they claim they've never get sick, and maybe they don't ever get sick. I used to do that as well. I used to eat a lot of that stuff too, and didn't get sick either. So I've had pretty bad diets in the last 5 years. I've eaten a lot of candy. Not recently, but there was a period where I was eating a lot of candy and cookies and all kinds of things like that. Even doing some smoking, a lot of drinking. I would drink 4 beers a night, most nights, after work. And, just eat a big plate of pasta or something, whatever. Just not the best nutrition, and drinking a lot and still not getting sick. So, the elimination of these toxins, these drugs, that is the first step to health. First step to health is basically use discernment and don't listen to your doctor. When it comes to colds and flus. Those things are a natural process the body has to go through to rid itself of toxins, in my estimation and in my experience. So, and then the last thing, which might be the most important one, which is stop believing that you're going to get sick because somebody else around you is sick. Stop believing in this myth of contagion that's never been proven. The myth of contagion that didn't allow me to hug my dying grandmother for 3 years. Evil. I stopped believing that other people had control over me. I stopped believing that other people could get me sick. In my mind, I don't believe I can get sick unless I expect to get sick and believe I'm going to get sick. I just don't. I think about health and I think about feeling good and that's it. But I don't take these horrific, toxic concoctions that your body has to get rid of that shit one way or another. And that's the way it gets rid of it. Through the nasal passages, right? Mucus, through your skin, your brain, headaches, it's toxins coming out. Through all different areas, detox pathways out of the body. That's nature. You take these suppressants, you take these things that suppress that, which is the medicine, the cold medicine crap. That's suppressing it. In my thoughts are that it just drives it deeper into your body, into your tissues, just kind of puts it off to the side for later. So your body then you get better because you don't have those symptoms anymore. So you feel like, oh, I'm getting better. I'm healed now. And then it comes back, like a month later, 6 months later, a year later. And then not only do you have to detox the stuff from previous, but then whatever medicine you took, you have to detox that as well. And it's just this constant cycle over and over and over again that you see with people who are getting sick several times a year. And I never do because I don't take that crap. So I would recommend people let their bodies be healthy, have a healthy lifestyle. Don't be an alcoholic. Don't stay up all night long. Keep your stress intact. Don't eat terrible food all the time. And then don't take these things. Let your body do the job. Let your body do the work it was designed to do. And you'll be relatively healthy. Well, appreciate anybody sticking around for the entire video. Let me know what you think. And we'll catch you on the next one.